Allegoria from 2022. Summary for this film: a timid actress, a tortured painter, a pretentious writer, a psychotic sculptor, and a rock band all become entangled when their insecurities manifest themselves into monsters and ghouls. Written and directed by Spider One. He didn't feel the need to bring anybody in on these projects.
Full control.
Yeah. Uh, right off the bat, I gave this movie big props because they kick things off with John Ennis. And I don't know if you guys know who John Ennis is. He was the acting coach, but he is from Mr. Show. If you are a fan of Mr. Show, you know John Ennis.
Oh, okay.
You've seen him in a bunch of other shit. He's got 188 acting credits, and I'm always happy to see him when he pops up someplace. But he was the strongest actor in this movie and the best part of this movie, I think. But he's spitting all over the place. It's almost
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know. It had to be on purpose, right?
Randy,
Like
if your acting
Oh,
direct
he was
your
going for
acting
it.
coach isn't like this, demand your money back.
Right?
If you don't
There
see
you
that kind
go.
of passion and commitment,
he's
just walk out.
he's
I
got to
got
be spitting in the sunlight. So
two weeks until those start. I'm getting a little
yeah,
nervous. So
nah, you'll kill it.
Yeah, you'll
Uh,
be all right.
but I liked this a lot. This little part up here at the beginning. I like how they shot it because you can see his spit in the sun. I thought it was sunlight, but it's spotlight. Uh, it's really intense. It's good camera movement. I liked what was going on, but like every single segment in this movie, it's just abruptly stopped and ended. It's because there's not a middle part to any of these stories. It's just a beginning and a conclusion. There's no rising action. There's three parts to a story structure, and he's missing one in every single segment. But the first segment is really short. It's the acting teacher. This girl who's real timid kind of becomes a demon, and then it just goes on to the next thing. I did like the intro credits. It gave me like an indie kind of movie kind of vibe. I like the way it looked, the music, and it was kind of cool. But the second segment's about a really annoying painter who's like toiling over this work seemingly, but it's bad. It's a bad painting. It's just a bad art, and he's kind of cocky. He thinks he's doing important shit. But fuck, man, this character is so unlikable. I just didn't give a shit. Uh, the creature's pretty cool. Uh, but once again, I don't know what's happening. So like the dude's stomach starts hurting and it's like crippling him, and then all of a sudden they like trade places. I guess he trades places with the painting creature thing that he made. I don't know. As we go along, I realize the part of these stories that's missing is the middle part. The third segment's about a writer who is seemingly writing a horror movie better than this one. Um, once again, you're introduced to a character, and then they almost immediately are killed uh, by their creation. There are cats killing each other in the next room right now. It is insane. I don't know if you saw my camera move there, but that was part of it.
Oh,
Jesus
jeez.
Christ. Yeah. They're fucking all my shit up. They don't like each other, I guess.
I see it moving.
Get out of here, you motherfucker. Get get on out. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to fucking go.
So before we go too much further, is it so the what you're calling the first story, isn't that the like the wraparound,
Kind of.
right?
Yeah.
So the okay, so all right.
They
So the
they try
last
to
story,
Is her story. That's like the
that's
her
yeah.
that's the
story.
fourth story, but that's connecting the wraparound.
It it
They try to
literally
kind of
wraps
connect
around.
all of them. They try to connect them in some way, but they're all just unsatisfying stories. Uh, there's some decent effects work, especially when the guy's wrist bone breaks and through the skin. That was kind of cool. But yeah, the fourth segment about the sculptor on the date with the nerdy dude. Uh, there's no twists or turns in this one. You just like it's like it tells you what's going to happen, then it does the thing, and then that's it. That's the thing. But halfway through the movie, they return to the actors from the first story. Like they try to touch back on everything, but it's not enough to connect it all together, I don't think. the band that they showcase at the end here is pretty terrible. The girl's just screeching about being a spider. It was I
I
want
knew it was going to be screechy too. I knew it. I knew she was going to be screechy.
the ending doesn't really wrap anything up, but it ends without any sort of resolve at the same time. Like it does both things badly. It doesn't really connect anything, and it just kind of who cares if this girl turns into a demon? I don't care. I don't care how she does it. I don't care what happens. But overall, I think you can see his skill in putting this together. I think it shows some of his ability, and I assume it was more of a look what I can do kind of thing than anything. The runtime is real sweet. I like it. It's hitting just over an hour. Uh, it's not unwatchable, but I can't give anything more than a 4.
Nice.
So
I uh I echo all of those same sentiments. I thought it had okay acting for something this low budget, and I really liked the opening a lot too. I thought that guy, I wrote, do daily deeds diligently. Did you guys catch that
Do
over and over?
daily deeds diligently.
Diligently, yeah. And I am the king.
Yeah.
Those are two things that I jotted down. I thought there were decent VFX for such a small budget. I liked the piano music that they had was ominous. Um, yeah, with Frank, quick runtime. I don't know if you guys know the guy that played the painter. He's an actor. He was in Terrifier 3, plays the uncle in Terrifier 3.
yeah.
Only watched that once. I can't remember.
The
Well,
uncle?
Yeah, the uncle.
Yeah, he's
And
the guy that
they
It's
crucified
they
at the
have
end.
him. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
him crucified at the end.
yeah.
Remember?
Okay.
But his name is
No.
Bryce, and in real life, this is a nice little side note. In real life, he is a Bigfoot hunter, and he has a show on the Travel Channel called Expedition Bigfoot,
Oh
and
Lord.
they're the closest to catching Bigfoot on camera I've ever seen anybody be. Either that or he is a liar. So,
He's a liar.
yeah.
He's an
He's a
actor,
liar.
not a liar.
Spoiler alert.
It's a nice little side note. If you guys aren't watching, check it out. Expedition Bigfoot. It's freaking great. But again, I'm with you. This felt like an anthology, but it was even more disjointed than a normal anthology is. A lot of the stories didn't make much sense, and they just ended abruptly. Um, it, I just hate how there's all this potential, but it didn't really go anywhere. Um, it is something I would recommend to somebody to watch once, like we're doing now. But I'm with you. I can't give it like a 5 out of 10. I would tell somebody you're going to watch this and probably not like it, but it's neat to see this guy's first attempt at something. So
Yeah.
All right.
Who's
Go
So
for it.
oh wait, did you call for Jason?
No,
No,
go
I
for
said
it.
who's up?
Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah. So I love the opening credits too, guys. That was like a bright spot for me. It gave me like Kubrick Clockwork Orange.
Do I have the wrong movie? It just loud noises, just a
It
wasn't
was
that
like
the
it was
opening
the bright
credits?
colors, it was the font. But yeah, right. It wasn't any
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
like
it was
the
like a
sound
mild,
designs
it
all
was
over on this
it was
movie.
reminiscent of the I don't like he's saying Kubrick, like the weird a
yeah,
weird kind of
yeah.
basic. I mean, it was real simple, but it had a certain charm to it that
Yeah, it was like impactful. The colors were I like the colors. They were super bright.
I was instantly pissed that I had to turn my TV down because it was just so freaking loud, and it
it
was
was
just the
loud.
credits. I'm like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? You
Well,
trying
it's
to
Rob Zombie's
scare me?
brother. It's gonna be loud.
yeah.
well, you're in for some creepy shit, so be prepared, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, cool opening credits, cool music. The acting class. Now that I know, I didn't recognize that guy, but I'm sure I've seen him. I didn't watch Mr. Show and all that stuff, so I'm not really sure who he was. I was just like, this dude's fucking intense, and he probably smells his own farts. But he was he crushed it though. Cool makeup all throughout, cool effects.
Mhm.
I didn't have a problem with any of the acting. I really liked that painting. There were or not the painting, but the monster from it.
Yeah.
That was creepy. The white eyes in that melty
The teeth.
black teeth.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the teeth.
that was like creepy as hell. Like I thought it looked really cool. But yeah, that guy he was a pain in the ass. He sucked. I wish that girl would have got him with her demon shit. That would have been really awesome. The screenwriter was funny. I can't remember what his name was, but he was like, "My name Park, you are a genius," and like that was so funny. And then his killer comes out and just crushes him all throughout the universe. This is like a universe anthology, kind of. If they would have had more time, it would have been like Go, but horror. If you remember that movie, that crazy anthology Go.
With Timothy Oliphant
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I can't remember who else, but
and Sarah Polley, I believe, is in that.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Um, but like his movies, like anyone that's watching a movie, it's his movie. Like I heard his name, Steve Park, but I know that's wrong. Um, he did the baby, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah. The- By the way, if you stick for after the credits, there's like that whole
That's,
scene.
that's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
But they decided to not
Right,
showcase that, put it at the end.
right. But that was humorous. Um, the
Wah,
yeah, the scout
wah.
then Scout Taylor Compton is looking smoking hot and dating that weird going on a date with that weird guy. I was like, okay, well, I don't believe it, but whatever. She's way too
hope,
hot for him.
hope for weird guys everywhere.
No, I get it, but look what happened.
Yeah, she didn't come.
There was a
Yeah.
moment though in that date where I was like, whenever he does the thing with the coasters, I was like, I wonder if Randy does that because you seem to keep a pretty. Have you ever had a girl try to put a fucking drink right on your table, Randy, and you're like, no.
Uh, I have a cheap coffee table, so I wouldn't care as much. But
Uh,
yes, I was entertaining a group of people, and I had a while. This was a while ago, but I had a big kitchen table, and I had coasters, and people were not setting their things on the coasters, and I was like, "Hey, what I put these
Set
out
these up
for if
for
you're
a
not going
fucking
to set
reason.
them on the coasters?" So,
I didn't
I
have
can hear
these
you.
for no reason.
yeah,
Clearly, there's a
Those
reason.
I
decorations.
can hear you.
yeah,
I can see you.
Fucking slobs.
that's right.
um, yeah, so she's like a human sculptor, so okay, spoiler alert, guys. Cool effect, like I said, cool effects all throughout. And then final story, that screamy girl summons evil somehow. Their keyboard player
How did
summoned.
she? Oh yeah, she
Remember?
figured.
Played the 6 notes,
Yeah,
Yeah. I was like, all right,
six
whatever.
chords or whatever.
And then it loops back around the girl's in Allegoria apparently. And she says it. I felt like Family Guy, he's like, there they said
yeah.
it in the movie.
Said that.
uh but yeah, I mean, my biggest problem was the structure of the stories. They started and then they ended. It didn't even flow. I don't know. It felt jarring, but the way they did it. I feel like with this runtime, they could have done like 2 to 3 max and gave a few extra minutes to flesh out some
Something. Don't just
stories.
introduce. It would have been like if when we started this podcast, I introduced everybody and then we immediately ended it. I mean, there was. Well, all right. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not unwatchable, but I also gave it a 4. Um I'm sure there's people that'll like it. I mean, I liked it for the effects. It's not that the stories were bad. They were just too chunky.
Yeah.
It was too abrupt. Everything was abrupt. It's like start action, As if
It's
anything,
like
it should have been like an
it's
hour
like
and a half.
every segment was like an unfinished sentence. Like there, like he put the period there too early. He didn't quite finish the whole sentence.
Yeah,
Or
it was
maybe
just like,
it could have
hey,
even been a run on, just one big run on, and he. I
mhm.
don't know. What am I talking about here?
I don't
All
know.
right, you're
Is
on.
that
You're up.
good? Am I good?
Yep, you're good.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So anthology, they all seem to have their problems. What I considered the first story of the painter, the monster looked cool. Didn't quite understand the story. I thought since he became, they were calling him he's an asshole and stuff. I thought maybe he just became so obsessed with getting his painting done or whatever that he just became this monster, and that's all it was. So I really don't know what exactly took place. Second story with the writer, what he writes manifests. We've seen this a few other times in movies, and then I guess the slasher character kind of takes over, rewrites the script. But at least this segment, we got a couple kills. We got kind of introduced the practical effects in it. Third story with the rock star nerd guy, just the only word that could come to mind was basic. Everything was just basic. It's boring. It was just here it is, there it goes. It's like it
The
just
minute she showed
came and went.
the Polaroids is when she showed the Polaroids. You're like, oh wow, yeah, but that's the
Yeah,
end of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, fourth story, or whatever it is, with the actress and the band. This one has some good horror elements, good music, has a little atmosphere, some more decent practical effects, and the actress, I think she's great. She's also in the next movie we'll be talking
mhm.
about.
Yeah, she
And for a
looks.
second, I was like, oh God, is this Spider One's baby? Is she going to be in every movie he does?
Oh
But you know
yeah,
what? Don't really care because I think she's a great actress. This monologue that she gives it in this movie, I don't know how she can get the look in her eyes to look like that sometimes without actually having some freaking issues of hers.
yeah,
But she's
right.
got, I don't know. She looked terrifying at some point. Like either she was just going to kill that girl at any second, she was just going to rip her throat out, or she was going to break down and cry. There was so much emotion in it, in her monologue. I think she's great.
Yeah,
Also, like the guy in the beginning. Um, Overall, everything's done well. It's just not a whole lot to the stories. I like the big baby scene at the end. In fact, when whatever the segment is that they're watching it on TV, it was what's
the
the last
last
one,
one.
right? The
Yep.
band.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was even into that part, watching that. So yeah, I thought that was funny. Uh, I might pick this up someday down the road if I find it cheap, $4 or $5. I gave it a 5 out of 10.